How does Superman help to what?
To begin with it.
Oh, well, I mean, I think it's really when I started reading comic books when I was a kid, you know, I didn't open up a comic book to see one single superhero, Superman landing in a rocket ship and then surrounded by humans. I entered a world where Superman was in a universe with other superheroes and robots and giant monsters and flying dogs and you know sorcery and science that was so extreme it seemed like sorcery. And so I really wanted to recreate like that other universe. I mean, it is a fantastical other world that we're in the DCU.
Mhm. Superman has always been characterized by just being like the nicest guy ever, and nowadays there seems to be a tendency towards considering this kind of boring or uncool. Do you think that having faith in humanity and aiming to do the correct thing is now an act of rebellion?
Yes, I do. I think that people have said that about Superman that he's Pollyanna or too earnest. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? I think that that's in a world where popular culture is so full of so many mean things. The most rebellious act you can do is to be kind. And Superman actually, goes against the grain of what people are like today because of that.
Mhm. Precisely regarding his kindness and pure intentions, the movie sees how his involvement in international politics causes him some trouble. Is this perception on war and conflict, as it is addressed in his interview with Lois, excessively naive? Maybe in today's society, who or what dictates what is correct?
Well, life is complicated. And so when we have the argument between Lois and Clark, we see two completely different points of view. We see Clark, who believes life is sacred and any life should be saved no matter what at any time. And then we see Lois, who believes that yes, life is important, life is sacred, but we need to make the right, well thought out choices. And sometimes that means losing life to save a life, to save more lives. Um, so they have very different philosophical perspective. Rachel Lois is a utilitarian, and Clark is more Catholic in his beliefs. And so I think that I don't think that either one is necessarily right because it isn't a math problem. It's philosophy. It's the things that philosophers have argued over for, hundreds, if not thousands of years, thousands of years. And so how can we say who's, is Clark naive or does he just have a very strong point of view? I don't know. I think he's both, depending on where you're coming from.
Cool. You've said in previous interviews that it seems that the darkest voices are also the loudest. Do social media and fake news facilitate this, as we may see also in the movie? Are we sometimes too quick to judge and condemn based on them?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things is, I think we all get, emails from friends saying, look at this thing that happened. It's so terrible. And then we go and we do a little bit of research and we find out, oh, well, maybe it wasn't exactly what the headline says. It's always trying to grab and get clicks. And we live in a world of these clickbaity headlines, which exacerbate all of our issues and differences. And so everything today in our media, meaning social networking and news, is built around exacerbating our differences as opposed to what do we agree on. Different political parties think we disagree on every single aspect of life, and it just isn't true. We agree on most things, but some things we disagree on, and so that all that sort of hatred and anger is exacerbated by social media.